Honourable member care to move that the House takes note of miscellaneous business?
Mr Speaker, I move the House takes note of miscellaneous business.
Honourable Tim Grosser.
There you go.
Order. I have called the Honourable Tim Grosser.
Mr Speaker, I've been doing a bit of travel recently. Rather more than any sane person would want to do, but it's at least given me one opportunity, which is to look at the political process through the fractured lens of the Labour and Green parties, and then to look at the reality facing New Zealand. So, without wanting to sort of caricature it too much, the argument from the Green Labour side of the House is the country's going nowhere, the government doesn't have a plan, OK? Oh, well, let's just look at the facts. Let's just look at the underlying facts. This country, along with Australia, is growing faster than any developed country in the world and has excellent growth prospects. This country has got a cost of living of less than 1%. That's about as low as we've had in 3 decades. And if we drill down into the highly sensitive issue of food prices, I wonder whether the members on the opposition benches saw the figure for the increase in food prices in the 12 months to April 2013. I wonder whether they saw what the increase was. Mr Speaker, it was zero. Actually, it's not quite correct. It was negative 0.1%. All right? And doesn't that make the Labour opposition look foolish for their stupid, botched strategy of trying to eviscerate GST by removing GST from fruit and vegetables? Prepared to butcher a well-constructed policy to solve a non-existent problem, Mr Speaker. We're looking at unemployment, which is too high at the more disadvantaged elements of our society, but which the unemployment rate is half the unemployment rate of 17 countries in the Eurozone. We're looking at after-tax wages which have increased by 20%, Mr Speaker, since 2008, which is twice the increase in the cost of living. We're looking at mortgage interest rates, the lowest for 50 years. Now, sure, if you bought a house in an upper-income area of Auckland, you won't see the full benefit of this. But roughly 90% of New Zealanders who live in their own houses are living in houses they've owned for more than 2 years. And if they're paying $300,000 mortgage, they're $230 a week better off. $230 a week. That'd be over $300 in pre-tax terms. That's what this government is delivering through sound, orthodox policies that try and fix problems at their root, not this rinky-dinky stuff coming out of the opposition. We're looking at when they are in their homes, Mr Speaker, when they are in their homes enjoying the benefits of a stable government, crime is lower than in the last 30 years. New Zealanders are safe in their homes because of the policies of this government. Now, what does this tell us, Mr Speaker? What does this tell us? It tells us that this government is focusing on things that matter to New Zealanders, that they are not obsessed with their own political navel, that we've isolated the problems that needed fixing in this country. And we're laying the foundations, both in the budget tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to Mr English's 5th budget. It'll be a great budget. It'll track the way forward for the next 12 months. And also the progress we're making on a sustained plan called the Business Growth Agenda, which is going to lay the foundations for more progress of the type that I've just outlined. This government knows what it's doing and has a set of ministers backed by strong support from our caucus, which is focusing on the problems that matter to this country. And if you just comb through some of the statements that have been made just in the last 3 days, what you get is a picture of ministers who are working to a concerted plan, know exactly what they're doing and focusing on real issues. In the social policy area, the decision to turbocharge the scheme to provide trades training for young Māori and Pacifica people. 600 established in 2011, we're going to turbocharge that to 3,000. We're looking at, the Minister of Housing has just announced $377 million of new housing for 500 state houses, and to accommodate larger families of today, another 3,000 bedrooms. Mr. Speaker, this is a government that knows exactly what it's doing, has got a very firm plan to put that in place, and is making great progress.
Grant Robertson.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to thank the National Party's visiting